Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Albion TV. We are continuing tonight's entertainment with some 5v5 Crystal League action. It is about to get underway in just under 2 minutes as the best teams are from around Albion are going to duke it out in some level 4, 5 and hopefully 6 Crystal GBGs. We just had the 20 show as well as the daily show. It's all go today, and my name is Lewpac, and joining me, of course, is Shozen and Bogul. How we doing, guys?
Doing great, doing great.
I'm watching Elitan here with Nabobo, Imagini, Zlanister, and Friere. Seems French names. I think there's a French team actually representing Doom, who we know had a good season.
Yes,
Last
they did.
Season.
Very impressive, yeah.
Yeah. I think they finished reasonably high, actually. Definitely Crystal. And we know they've been splashing out on their GVG teams. So we'll see what these guys have to offer. And of course, it's a very short season. So leveling your towers, which these guys aren't doing, they're in town, is very, very important. Because if you can get a high level tower, it will last pretty much the whole season. There'll be no decay because the season's so short. I think the highest level ones are 30 days, I believe. So Elitan looks like he's still going on the hammer tank. Obviously, we get it. We've had a bit of a meta switch up with the latest balance patch. We'll be interested to see the result of that. But we have potentially, based on Retro's NDA, some massive changes coming soon to the 5v5 meta. A real shake-up.
Absolutely. There's huge changes across the board. New skills, removal of skills, changes to the standard comps. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens as we go forward this season.
Okay, so we're on are we on Elitan then, Bogul? Is that where the camera is right now?
I can be wherever you want. You just need to...
Oh, that's what I like to hear. Yes, we'll go on Elitan. He's playing hammer tank. Let's see who they're going to match up with here in their level 4. First, I don't know, did you cover some level 4s on Tuesday? Was it 4 and 5 on Tuesday? With Taz? Okay. And as expected, we don't have bows in the lineup anymore due to the changes recently. The very, very heavy-handed nerf, and it's Barak, Tutuka, Gardiner, Maya, some guys that we saw during the CLC as well, the previous one. And it looks like the switch is one-hand frost then. One-hand frost is replacing the bow. Interesting that nobody's fielding the crossbow, and the fire is still a bit of an afterthought. Elitan coming up the choke, goes for an early pierce combo. Iron Breaker into poison onto Tutuka. Tutuka actually taking huge amounts of damage there. Does get saved. Pops his cleric, and the turn onto Zlanister is swift and deadly. That was nicely played there. He didn't wane under the pressure, does eventually go down, but it's more of a consolation kill than anything, as Nabobo pretty much went all in for it. Double Iron Breaker there from Gardier, but nothing to follow up.
Nice plays here. Just a bit of the back and forth, just hold in this area as they wait for their team to return. Yeah. I like seeing them tough it out and not go all the way back on these, but they need to hurry up and get this and break this 3 cap. And
I think you're going to get pushed.
Yeah, I think they are too. It looks like Gardinier is coming in to break it up, and he does. Barak and the boys aren't going to play soft on these guys. They're not going to give them any space to breathe when they have the advantage like they do now. You want to take as much of the pressure as you can and keep it on. Just
yeah, Nabobo actually went for the flick play to stop the interrupt, but he was a little bit late. The guys had already been cast. Barak's going to get left behind, though. The Iron Breaker. There's the kill onto Lucifer. Slightly out of position on the Frost. The Judy on the choke, and they're forced to retreat out of the Judy, and this Skyatel team is going to be run over right now. The shards are raining down. So we'll talk a little bit afterwards about the switch from bow to frost. One thing it does add is an extra layer of CC. You've got the freezing wind and the frost nova blink, both of which have CC components. So it's a slightly different play to the bow, but probably not as deadly on a single target as we saw bows that got their stacks up.
Yeah, those bows were pretty brutal. You even saw double bow comps because the single target damage on that composition was just overpowering at times.
Elitan and the boys now they're gonna do the same. They're gonna push the 3 cap and take no prisoners right now. The flick onto Imagini, nice stun in from Elitan onto 2. Tatuka gets hooked in, gonna roll away, but now he's vulnerable to the flick. They use the Fiend Sandals, they're holding it. If they've got the flick, they're gonna hold it for now. He does pop the Cleric and goes into the area of decay, trying to return. Barak and Gardenier manning up actually inside the Judy and getting full healed, and now Imagini's in a horrible spot. Mortal Agony as well, getting stabbed. He gets flicked, swapped back into the Judy actually. Bit of a mistake from Gardenier. They're helping him out really, but he is going to survive for now as Elitan tries to peel. Barak looking for more, but now he's going to be driven back by those 4 stacks. The constant pressure of the Dark Matter goes out as well. Knock up, there's the stun from the other side from the Elite Gardenier, and Nabobo is going to get caught out with his pants down, and he's going to be taken out there. Gardenier looking for his choke point. Oh, Elitan, good play there. Geysers up Gardenier before he can find the 3 clothy stun on the choke. That would have been pretty brutal, and because of it, they're actually able to continue contesting caps. Holding that 3, imagine he gets flicked in. Judy boots up. Should have a roll. He's going to Cleric his way out. He's now got no Cleric. I'm pretty sure he should have his roll available. If not, he could be in a bit of trouble if they decide to go for him. Beautiful stun from Elitan, though, finding the target. There's the roll. Now, Barak unable to continue because he has the Cultist Cowl Curse on him. And the Square's whole team don't turn this into any caps. They're going to have to get some kills.
Oh, there they go. They get eye engaged. And Elitan is going to follow it up. And that was quick. And then the flick. No.
They're actually not going to chase more. They're going to immediately break onto the cap.
That's the right call right there.
Yeah,
you're getting
100%.
Triple capped right here, and now's the time to put it back in your favor. You just got bullied for a full tie on this. Like, you were up tons, over 40 points. You just bled. Now it's time to take some of this back, gain control. Then you can put the bully on your opponent.
This is a pretty well-matched fight, actually. The team's pretty even skill-wise. Seems to be going both ways.
Absolutely.
Stack management from the curses is going to be a crucial factor, as well as defensive management against the glaives. That's what's going to win these fights. Sort of the mechanical use of those skills. Being calm under pressure. Like we saw very good stuff from Nabobo under pressure. Some very good stuff as well from Tutuka. Both of them just managing their defensives and turning it into kills. Like knowing the limit of where they can go. Lucifer has to pop the res as the forward pressure comes out. Knock back. Elitan pushing Imagini to safety, using that geyser defensively. Nabobo poisoned, but he's in a very defensive spot. Bit of a wasted poison there by the Scoia'tael team. Barak's going to geyser away. They're going to hook in Freya here. Elitan needs to be careful. He is in the Judy, but the Dark Matter is doing an impressive amount of damage. The knock up, the geyser, the 4 stack onto Freya, and he is going to drop. Elitan goes with the stun across 2 clothies. Put the follow-up onto Lannister. He's going to roll for his life, but they're chasing after him. They're stunned with no cleanse on the healer. Finally, the cleanse comes, but they are bearing down on Lannister. Elitan's geyser is trying to save him. He's peeling all he can, but now Barak is on top of him with the glaive. Tatuka's there with the curse, and they're going to lose their healer. It's only a matter of time. They're going to hook him back. They're going to swap him out.
He has been
How
impressive.
Is he still alive? But he finally does go, and that's going to be a pullback for the Doom boys. Into a 3 cap. They do actually time it nicely, so it's only a 10, but Nabobo's probably going to drop as well here. Elitan, maybe Elitan one for the road. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be annoying.
Oh, this is going to be close.
One stack curse. Oh, he swaps himself.
44. 44.
That's why you need those curse stacks. 2 or 3 stacks, and he would have been dead probably. That
Absolutely.
Was no, that was nice quick play with the Fiend Sandals there, the position swap. That's why I like abilities like Geyser, and I like abilities like position swap, because they can be used offensively and defensively, which in my opinion raises the skill ceiling.
I agree.
I love seeing stuff like that. Being able to peel and punt people with the Geyser is great. And also conversely, if you misplace it, do you remember we saw was it Cargera knocked his boy knocked Shekri back into them when he was trying to escape?
Yeah.
We're still not sure if that was a
It's not
troll or
easy
what.
to
Well,
use.
that's what's good about it though, because it's very, very powerful in the right hands. But it also relies on good communication, because you need your teammate to know that it's happening so that he doesn't change direction, especially against Frost. Because when you're fighting against Frost, you're constantly trying to juke, because you're trying to make him miss a shard or 2 here or there just to get value. Tutuka maybe going to drop. Good save in the back from Maya, but this is a lot of forward pressure. Surely they have to get run over here. Barak and Gardner doing some work, and actually the frontliners are getting driven back. If the Scoia'tael frontliners can get back, they may have a chance, but Mortal Agony on both. Oh, it's going to be one. They're going to trade for Elitan. Barak needs to survive. He's not going to survive. It's 2 for 1. But Lannister's in a bit of trouble. Maya, the Cultist Cow, is going to use the Cultist Rogue to cancel the Cultist Cow, and doesn't quite connect with the harpoon, but they're going to have to kite here.
Done.
And the follow-up won't be there because they do need to look at caps, because they are down to a horrible, horrible 8 points. And we know that this is the point where it just gets nasty, because now they've just about stabilized in the middle, but the Scoia'tael boys have respawned, and I imagine they're just going to start diving caps left, right, and center. Barak's over there looking to defend this south cap. Early poison. I like that from Magini. Just open up with the pressure, but Barak knows what he needs to do. Like, he knows exactly what he has to do here. Gardner's coming over the top. Barak, he knows he's got his role available, doesn't have a res now. He's going to get healed. And now they're just going to turn it into a brawl here. And Scoia'tael can't lose from this point. Like, if they play it correctly, it's impossible to lose from here. You cannot kill 5 people in 14 seconds, Shozen.
No, not really. That's not generally how it happens.
Not people that know, not people that are at their keyboard anyway.
Well, no. I mean, even in this game, I mean, the time to kill is pretty quick. I don't know if you don't kill like one after another.
Unless you have a 5-man AoE wombo combo.
Yeah, I don't see it.
It's not going to happen with a standard GVG setup, that's for sure. And that was a really good match, but once you get to that like sub 10 points, it's so difficult. Especially like it's hard enough if you have the caps, because it's still only 2 kills, right? When you're down caps as well, you're forced to play hyper aggro and like hyper risky to get the caps. At which point you might sustain 2 deaths anyway so you still lose. Because if you're constantly trying to grab caps, you're fighting 5v4 or even worse 5v3 and just getting outvalued. So nicely done by the Scoia'tael team. We'll see who's coming up next. What else we got in the way of matches? Anything still going?
There's some 2 still going, but I have recorded a level 3 and I'm getting that ready now. Let me see if there are a 2 that we can head to is worth watching. Bogul, what do you see?
Do you mean names? I'm not seeing much now.
Ochi Wan, not Ochi Win.
Ochi Wan.
You can try a graph, I guess.
Ochi Wan Kenobi. That's quite funny, because I don't think that's any relation to
I think it's Ochi Win. No, I think it is because he's playing with Loretta Blue.
Oh, okay, yeah. If he's playing with Loretta Blue, then it definitely is.
I would head over to Loretta Blue. I think that's...
this is a level 3 then, I guess?
Level 2.
Ochi's team is 3 and 12.
Beat. They're getting beat.
It's Graf, Lucha Blue.
Yeah, these
like
are good guys. Ochi Wan?
They are on the comeback though right now. The comeback trail has begun as the Daka on the healer. I'm liking this. A bit of cleric robe, 1-hand crossbow, bringing back the old school. Lucha Blue is looting in a level 2. Yumi's playing the Great Holy. See what the conflict healer. It's a conflict ungilded tidal mix team right now. Ochi is overloaded with tier 2 gear. Okay, so it's nature versus holy, which is interesting. And Lucha Blue is playing Black Monk Staff. Azaz is playing Broadsword. And Ochi is playing the crossbow. So a very unconventional setup on all of the weapons except the frost. The counterparts are playing Great Hammer, but they're playing Great Axe as well, which is interesting. So we might see some crazy shenanigans down here in level 2s. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you go to the low MMR ranks in a MOBA, you see all sorts of wild stuff. Okay, Ochi goes for the big cleric combo onto T-Dup and nearly gets the kill. Loretta Blue trying to get the control out with this Fatal Blade. Remember, he can negate a lot of damage here. And the Great Axe, while he can't be interrupted during his spin, he can actually be slowed. One of the weaknesses of the Great Axe is the slow, which Fatal Blade will actually do. And Azaz on the broadsword with the Stalker helm is very, very deadly. Like if he gets the big clap off, he can do a lot of damage. Oh, Ochi Daka into the tent. And this was 12-2 when we got here, by the way. Azaz
I don't know what Azaz is doing. He's got to stop doing that.
He's just memeing right now. He is fountain.
Yeah, they got to stop. I mean, unless this was wholly a meme situation to begin with, and they were just killing themselves in tier 3 gear. I don't know. And then they decided to come out in the last. They're like, okay, guys, we can't fail from this point. We have 40 points. It's time to go.
Lotra's using a T8 Black Monk stave in a level 2. Just throwing it out there, which is going to lose quite a lot. I mean, he's max spec. I'm pretty confident in saying he's a max spec tank. So
yeah, these guys wanted to have a 100 more IP.
Ochi during the holy meta was probably one of the best healers on the server at one time, wasn't he?
Yeah. Ochi was one of the best that we had.
Meta.
Absolutely fantastic during the Holofell meta.
And kind of not a nature fan though, so he kind of stopped playing at the top end during the nature stuff. Lotra trying to get the shutdown, and actually like any sort of quarter staff is pretty nice against the frost. Oh, but that's a stack that they didn't want to make, and there you go. Armor pierce being used instead of dark matter, which I like to see. Ochi going to roll back towards the reset, and the Judy does step out the Judy though briefly. Lotra, he wants blood here. Look at his positioning. Like, he's positioning between them and the tent. He's not chasing, he's intercepting. And he's got that nasty wounds, Hood of Tenacity, to reduce the healing output as well. Look at the tech switch as well. Here. The curse on T-Dup from Tidal. Because he's not fighting in nature, he switched to a Shadow Caller instead of a Great Curse. And that was a huge comeback, by the way. They still lost on kills, just casually. Don't joke us like this.
Don't joke us like any of it. I agree.
So what's going on? Did they like come out naked and meme on them at the start, or
I think they did something to them at the start. I think there was some kind of meme going on, and
because this looks like fully one-sided.
It looks incredibly one-sided.
Maybe they just tent dove like this. Yummy is actually on his horse right now, so Aya's not going to get any healing, and they all go for the tent dive on the timer, knowing that it's going to reset.
Wow. Asanto with 8 kills, and then they were like, yeah, stop picking on me.
Yeah, that just seemed like a bizarre
8 kills and then says stop picking on me.
I wish we'd have got that one from the start.
That was very I have no idea what happened there, but that goes to show you that a level 2 can be entertaining.
Kiki win is in your recording,
yes.
Shozen.
Yes, Kiki win is the tank in my recording. Fighting for Brave Newbie.
Is there double healers in this? See some old names. Ryudo's here from Sun.
Right.
Tyek from Sun. DST.
It's going to be an interesting match. This is a level
Sabez 3. From RMT Project. Oh, why do people just want to put a radar on themselves, Shozen? Why do people do this stuff? Like the guy who named his new character SBI is biased and then wondered why they looked into him. The mind boggles. I will put this on in the background, and I guess we could take the opportunity as well to discuss these NDA changes, because there's some...
Okay, we can do that. Okay. Bogul, you up for doing that? Throwing this... I mean, this is actually... this ended at the same time as
okay, well,
ours,
this one's only 8 minutes. So
I'm going to tell you, it's not the same... It's not the same as what we got in our match. So it's totally okay to put this up in the background if you want to spend 10 minutes talking about the NDA. I'm totally fine with that.
Kiki,
all right, just make sure we go up on the same time here.
Okay, yeah. Let me know when you want to start.
Playing in 3, 2, 1, now.
So I'm pretty sure he was in the Era 404 team that we used to
season winners
talk a lot about because of their unconventional and frustrating tactics that the opponents had to endure. But yeah, good to see some of these old names playing. You know what I mean? Like, especially ones that haven't played for a while, come back, get straight back into the scene. Always nice. And of course, there's still spots for a CLC up for grabs this season.
Well, I've heard that this team wants to do well. Like they want to push for things. So we'll see if they can get out.
Well, they're doing a nice start. 2 clean kills. Going to turn that into the early 3 cap. Let's take control of this match. Looks like they're still playing the Great Hammer. Tribillion. I remember that name as well. Boo Boo Blue. I know quite a lot of the names in this match, actually.
Yeah, there are a lot of well-known players in this fight. DST 373.
I remember. I recognize the name. I'm not sure. That's somebody's alt, though. I'm not sure whose.
Well, it's hard to keep track of the alts.
I know Tyke. I've known Tyke since the beta. Tyke played with me in the beta. We used to Hellgate together. He was a young Russian kid back then. He's now a young Russian man. Like, it's been that long, but
yeah, it's been a while.
I remember ganking him on launch day, and he came onto my Discord where we were hanging out, and he was a squeaker at the time because he was still young, and it was like, Lewpac, don't gang me. It was good. It was good times. But no, he's been playing this game for ages, I'll tell you.
Well, it's good to see that he's still playing and getting more effective in his gameplay. He doesn't look like he's getting ganked.
It does look like the majority of people have made the switch to one-hand frost, though. Oh, yeah. Little but good kidnap now onto Kiki. They identified that, usually the tank wouldn't be the kidnap target, but they identified that he had no defensive available. They identified that he'd used his tackle, went for the snatch and grab, and it paid off nicely. But it does look like no caps are changing hands. So the 4-man team, or now 3-man team of Kiki's, was holding nicely. Tyek is going to dip looking for the cap, but Kiki's probably going to contest now, I think. No, maybe not. Boo Boo. He's been mortal agonied. He's been flicked into a nasty position. He's got 4-stack the Iron Breaker as well. Can he survive? Oh, the freezing wind from Tyke over the wall. He grabbed the cap and then freezing wind from the top just to control that choke and got the kill for it as well. Now he's going to dip off for the North cap. And yeah, so they're going to fight 4v4 while they wait for the respawn. That's why DST is just putting those geysers out, just trying to slow them up. They're actually trying to greed for the 3 cap, and they nearly got it. But Riser, he was capping from the side. This could
be a mistake here. Yeah, I think they're going to lose Riser for it, and they do.
Yeah, he completely.
Oh no!
Completely just dumpstered there. Didn't get the defensives off. Nothing. And they would have got the 3 cap as well if they'd have actually if they'd have had him around the other side, I think.
Maybe not. It would have been close. It would have been close.
Well, he was nearly done.
He made it as easy as he could have for them to interrupt. But the thing is, if he had to go around to the backside, that would be that much more time. So, we don't know for sure he would have been able to get it.
Gets caught. Ty gets caught with no blinks, and now Ryudo is going to get jabbed to death by the spear. He's right in front of the tent, though. Riser running Grudge, just casually. Could we see the return of Grudge Glaive here, potentially? Mortal Agony, DST is going to get dumpstered. And all of that. And then they just got the caps turned around on him. And now it's going to be a big 3-point bleed because there's no way that Red can contest this now. Like, their healer was the last one to die. So any damage they take in the early exchanges wouldn't be healed. He is finally back. But it's going to be a quick grab. And then they're going to push south to contest the 3 as well, I reckon.
I'm just contacting Kiki Win right now, so give me a second.
Why is that?
Seeing if you can let him know. Yeah.
Whoa! 3-man stack up front there. DST and Tyke and Sabs. That was really nasty. The freezing wind caught all 3 of them. The AoE from the area of decay caught all 3 of them. And that was a really rough open. And somehow they've stabilized and have some counter pressure. But those are the sort of moments, like, when you clump like that and give your opponent that opening, that is often enough to decide the fight. Even if the fight goes for another minute, you're so far behind on momentum. But they turn it into a kill onto Boo Boo. Ryza might get traded. He's going to pop a cleric offensively and try and get something out of this. Grudge is going as well, and there's no purge without these bows as well. What's interesting is now the helmet options for tanks have massively opened up because you don't have to constantly purge a bow.
Which is great.
People actually underestimate how vulnerable a Frost is to a purge. There's a 20 tick, but it was another trade. It's back to 4 versus 4.
Well, it's not quite as much as when you purge a bow, but you're right. It does really take down quite a bit of their damage, and since they are relying on that to get the bulk of their, their damage.
Well, you got 2 options, right? You can purge the Scholars or the Morganas, which is damage output enhancing, or you can purge the Perpetual Energy, which is the only way they manage energy. Yeah. Like I think like if Royal Armor still drained energy, then purging the Royal Hood would be a very viable tactic. Like just keeping them completely dry of energy. But now it doesn't. It's probably not as good because Scholar's Robe Speedcaster gives you a casting discount as well to makes it a little bit easier to do. So I think it's like it's probably there's better helmet options than purging the Frost. Like on it, I think Quarterstaff is going to be really good right now because it's like it's got so much potential for interrupting those shards. Like you can also interrupt things like Area of Decay in the back. You can annoy the healer if you're playing Hurricane or even the Black Monk staff. Like Frost needs to stand in place to cast, right? To do any damage, they need to stand still and spam shards. So you just stick the Fatal Blade on top of them, and they can't stand there because they just lose all their damage, and it can't be cleansed while you're in it because it will restack. Like the hammer can just be cleansed instantly. You can get so much more pressure onto these Frost players with that Fatal Blade. There's DST up aggressive, and they're just going to beat him down in the corner, and he's slowly trying to get out of there, but they hook him right back. Sacrifice comes out into the Judy as well from Ryudo. Nice play there. He is going to stabilize, but he's already left. He knows it's over, and that was clean from the boys. Very, very clean. 10-5, but they were in control of the caps the whole match there.
You can throw him up on the main screen, Bogul, if you go over to Kiki Win right now. He's currently scrimming. We can, I guess, talk about the NDA for a few moments, and I will open a raffle.
Yeah, okay. Let me throw them up in the background so they're on mine as well. Yeah, so the NDA is, I mean, this is like Retro Man going nuclear on the meta. And what I've noticed, and what a lot of people have probably noticed in the last one, is instead of just going, these are the changes now, we actually talks about them quite a lot. So I won't go over like the arcane and the crossbows because they're more ZVZ focused. Like,
okay,
there's a big change to the locus.
Huge change to the locus.
And the life curse. Which basically, so now the locus is going to be used as an AoE cleanse ability. And the life curse will now be the AoE purge.
Yep, which I think is cool. It gives them
separate it into 2 parts because the locus is just like so necessary.
So OP.
Like,
it does so much. It's
Well,
it's the parry of weapons.
It just controls choke points like completely. And obviously the weeping being buffed again back into business, so that'll be interesting. That said, the ones we're going to look for then, fire, which we thought the new Searing Flame ability would maybe bring it into the meta, but it just didn't quite.
Not yet.
Didn't quite do it. Mainly because the Searing Flame collision just hits the first thing. So tanks were quite often soaking up fireballs that were meant for clothies. A little buff to the wildfire, but I still don't think fire is going to go into the meta. Hammers taking a bit of a beating though. Power Geyser, 2-second increase on the cooldown. Tackle, stun duration reduction, and Iron Breaker, damage reduction and resistance reduction. Damage nerfed and resistance reduction nerfed. So a nerf to all 3 abilities of the Great Hammer might be enough to pop it off. Like, I just think mean, knee bash kind of playable. I don't hate knee bash, to be honest. Like,
I like knee bash.
Putting it on like a glaive or someone that needs to keep on their targets is quite effective. The one-hand hammer's not awful. The pole hammer's not awful. The tomb hammer's actually not awful. I think people are actually sleeping on the tomb hammer a little bit for 5s, just because it's a skill shot. I think puts people off, but it could be very good, especially on those choke points. Being able to stun people without committing your body is kind of nice. Obviously, you don't. It's true. You lose the mobility side of it, which is often used to save yourself. But there you go. I mean, inertia ring, very good ability for chokes as well. We could even get the old slammer jammer hammer back. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The soldier armor slammer jammer. And it was double soldier. They used to use Spectre Hood double soldier armor, because soldier armor actually ups your CC as well, which makes the tackles last a really long time. Holy staffs, the nature and holy nerfs to damage are more aimed at corrupteds, but there is a change to the redemption staff which caught my eye. The cast is now uninterruptible, so the celestial sphere can no longer be interrupted, which is quite a big change, really.
Okay.
Like, because that also means that you're immune to stuns and stuff. So if you think somebody's coming, if you think someone's coming to stun you or swap you or flick you or anything, you're actually immune. Similar to a blight staff, like you're actually immune to those while casting. Now, obviously, unlike the blight staff, the celestial sphere actually does some healing. Like, the blight staff is just like a green bogey cloud that mildly tickles your health bar.
Oh,
like
my.
even when paired with the Judy armor, the blight staff's healing is sad.
You just don't like the blight staff's healing. It's just not doing it for you.
I mean, the thing is nature is a very heal over time orientated class, right?
Our guys are in.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about this. So who are we going on?
I'm on Gardner.
Looks like Kikiwin is facing Imagini. Oh gosh, I'll have to. Giardiner.
It's not an easy one.
Oh, I got it in 1. Wow, I was not expecting to get it in 1, I'll be honest.
Well
done.
So
this one's a level 5, is it?
Mm-hmm.
So Reichler and the Doom Boys versus this Skyhotel team. So there's definitely options for the hammers to continue played, but after we'll talk about what the mace is going to be doing. Wow, Aang's taking a lot of damage for Doom early on here. Big pressure out front. Tatuka, he's going to get hooked in, but we know, like, he's actually he's very good with his aggro, right? But he's also very predictable. Like, if you hook him in, he's going to pop his cleric and he's going to try and drop an area of decay with a 30% damage boost on you. Like, if teams start reading that and playing into it, like getting ready to insta-purge him, he can actually be really punished for how he plays. But as it goes, like, because what he does is he puts himself in the position where he's the one that's going to get hooked. Like, he's like the bait. Do you know what I mean? He's like, look where I'm standing. Such an easy hook. You can't miss from here. So they hook him, he pops his cleric, and then he just drops area of decay on your backline. And then exactly what you see here, you're like, you lose the momentum because you've just been absolutely ravaged by a damage amped area of decay. And,
which is nice.
And
nice. I like it. It's a great move.
No one calls him out on it, right? No, like, you would just think, right, we know what he's gonna do. He does it every time. Let's get ready for it. Like, either don't pop the cleric and then beat the granny out of him, or pop the cleric and purge him. One or the other. But just punish him for this nonsense, because it's winning them fights, because you just don't recover from that sort of pressure.
It's very hard to come back from that much.
Yeah,
right off the bat. Like, it can
chills.
send it the other way. Yeah.
And he still has his roll, and he still has his. I think he runs poison actually, so he doesn't have a res pot, but he always has his roll available for after. And he's running a Fiend's Cowl. Gardener's running a Fiend's Cowl as well. There is a Fiend's Cowl on the tank, so they can punish it. But so Tatuka, he's just going to stand in the middle this time. Like, he was playing round the rock. Reichler going to roll the hook there. Nice of him. And Tatuka, he's sort of... Lucifer's playing right up the choke. Tatuka, he just stood right next to the spear. Like, he's right by the spear. Like, come on then. Do it. And no, they're actually not doing it this time. They're aware of what he's trying to do, and they're going to pull back to the choke. I like this peel back, though. They have the 3 cap. They don't need to. The hook goes out onto Lucifer, but the counter pressure onto the choke. Tuka gets the stacks up. Barak, nice stun onto 2, though. It's a 2-man stun, 2-man iron breaker. Mortal Agony didn't quite click with the armor pierce, but he still gets the damage amp even then. A dark matter in the back, though. Wow, that was some nasty damage in the back. Volan is there. Is in a lot of trouble on the choke on this Frost. Barak's trying to push, but the 4 stacks are going to be too much. The harpoon from Aings misses, though. That was the kill right there, Shozen.
That was their opportunity.
And he missed. And Tatuka, he gets caught. He pops his cleric, as is tradition, but he doesn't have the Air of Decay available, so Gardner is going to geyser him to safety. Aings, it's the hook again.
Stacks.
Oh, the healer gets hooked into a horrible spot. He rolls for safety. He does have the cleric.
Done.
He has the cleric, but it's not going to be enough. One more stumble to it. Barak can't get the finish.
Get him.
He can't get the finish, and Aings does die, though, because the healer is running for the hills. Wow.
Yeah, this is at least going to be enough to turn the fight down the stairs. I think they're going to be able to at least get one more on this.
That was so good by Isan, though.
They're going to give 2.
He stunned Barak, and Barak needed one more stab to kill the healer there.
It was beautiful.
Oh, that's a nice
really. I can't
win.
believe that healer got away. That was impressive right there, and it's going to allow them to stay in this fight a bit. They are pressuring here. Isan with full stack, still being a bully, still going in, not being one of those, I'm going to bring poison buds.
It was really good by Juliet, though. Like, he held his cleric as long as he possibly could, because he wanted the seed to pop with the cleric amp, but also he wanted them to overcommit for the kill, and knowing that 3-second cleric would be enough for his team to turn it, and it nearly was. It nearly got him killed, admittedly, but his team got a lot of counter pressure, and it was just unlucky that they ended up getting the first kill, because that fight could have gone either way. It was really, really safe play by the healer. He knew what he had in his defensive arsenal, and he managed it well. It just didn't pay off for them that time, unfortunately. And this Giardner team, looking like they're cruising to another victory right now. They're posturing for the push down to the point where Doom might not even bother. They'll probably do it just out of tradition, because you can't not do it and let them have it for free. But it's going to be hit them and kite once again. There goes the Morganas from Volns. And now Gardner has to leave immediately. He might actually die for this. There goes the Judy sack, and he's going to be okay. But it did cause the Skyatel team to push down, which they weren't comfortable with. They really wanted to just kite back to the choke. Both sacks have now been used, as Reichler needs to be safe. But Giardner, he's getting shard. Needs to dodge those shards. Dodge 1, dodge 2. Gets hit by that one. Swapped into the choke. Tackles the safety, and he's somehow alive.
How is he still alive?
He dies to a 1 stack curse tick, because Maya was getting bullied the other side, and now Doom can come surging forward.
Well, this gives these guys at least an opportunity to make a nice comeback. And I love watching a good comeback. And here we have at least an opportunity for one, as Red has made some space, taken down Blue. The healer is dead. The tank is dead.
Barak is using an 8-3 spear and an 8-3 Thetford, by the way. In what is this, level 5? Yeah. Yeah, these guys are pretty wildly geared. I'm gonna be honest.
We've seen that all day.
Nah, not at a level 5.
When we were watching, yes, we were watching some ridiculously high armors in the 20v20s for no reason.
Okay.
It was nuts.
Oh, there's the hook. Can they turn it into more? This time, obviously, Giardner doesn't have a choke to retreat to, because they are on the offensive. Lucifer's going to... Oh, he blinked forward and then goes for the cap. Aings is looking for it. Lassan is going to play that low ground. Goes for the swap in. Does get the interrupt. And now they need to punish him. They just need to... He has the stacks of the curse. They need to just get him back out. He's actually going to go poison and aggro, and he drops the stacks. Messy play from Tatuko. Like, you have to maintain the stacks on the 2 frontliners. Otherwise, you just lose on momentum. They have to have that constant pressure. There is a good choke point punish here, though. A lot of damage goes out into Doom, but they are holding this choke as best they can. The Judy goes down. Very offensive Judy for Skoya. And they look like they've got all the momentum right now. They've breached the high ground without taking any major damage.
And there goes Reliker.
Reichler's just going to get Iron Breaker to death. And now it's going to be Do they throw? They have to throw their bodies at this. Like, if they pull back now and get 3 capped on, they're in a really, really horrible spot. They might be able to get something on Lucifer here. Jardinier, obviously there's no curse right now, so they're gonna lose the momentum here. And this, that healer just about dodged that from being the 3-man stun. The 3-man stun would have been lethal, but they're gonna lose their frost. The area of decay is gonna go out, and this choke here could be lethal. The area of decay actually gets separated on Aings. Is there a flick for him? There isn't. They get 1 cap as well. Right now they can't. They haven't got any space to turn it into another.
Nope. They're just gonna have to fight for it. They're gonna have to get down there and make some room.
Doom did a nice job of not just giving up immediately there and getting 3 caps. They actually get 10 off of it. They don't lose 10. They gain 10.
Which is great, but they have to come back and they have to win another fight, and quickly, because they're getting to the point in the match, Lewpac, where they just don't have a lot of points to share.
Yeah, but they've got 4 minutes now instead of having a minute.
Yes,
they have 4
instead of a minute
because of that hold. Like, because it would have been a 20 into a 20 and then just a horrible spot. They get up the choke quite nicely. Ains takes a lot of pressure. The dark matter getting full value. Juliet, very early cleric from Juliet. They know that they can kidnap this healer now, and there's a wide open choke there. Throws the hook, and he lands the hook onto Juliet. They know he's got no cleric. He is in deep trouble. He gets the roll off. The good geyser from Lassan. He's going to put his life on the line for this, and I'm pretty sure they're just going to get steamrolled now. That was a brilliant read, and Barak threads the needle. They're actually going to look for the cap. Wow, they let them off there. The healer had 0 defensives left. They could have just full dived there. And instead, Barak breaks off for the cap. He has no energy. Ains has no energy either. So these royal armors have got to come in clutch. Ains, he needs to drain with that armor, but he can't really commit at the moment. And he's used his armor and he's out of energy. This is a horrible spot for the glaive. And I don't see how Doom find the kill here unless they get a really lucky control on the choke. Scoia'tael, that's some good AoE defensives from Scoia'tael as they push back. Ains is completely out of energy. He just flicked, so it's not the end of the world, but he can barely even stab right now till his next royal armor. Barak's going to pop his. Look for the soak on 2. Gardner, a lot of pressure coming out as Volz gets cocky, and he's going to do something with that. Brilliant play from the Doom Frost there.
Nicely done.
Super aggro, sets up the Mortal Agony for Ains, which of course doesn't cost energy because it's a helmet.
And they're going to get this
Juliet
cap.
straight onto the cap. In time,
Not in time. Nope.
Not cool. Oh, they did.
Oh, they did?
Just.
Lewpac. That is as close as it gets.
Cheeky. Lucifer goes down as well. And this they don't want to chain deaths here. Like, they might have to give up the 3 cap now. It's actually gonna be Tuka's gonna drop, and they need to go north now. They can't chain deaths into this south one. But this means it's gonna go to 3 caps, and they're gonna push aggro, and all of a sudden they're gonna be 3 minutes away from winning instead of 4 minutes from losing.
Incredible turnaround here, Lewpac.
Yeah, I mean,
incredible turnaround. I am I don't want to use the word shocked, but I'm impressed.
It was brilliant. That healer, I thought Juliet was dead there. When he popped the early cleric and then Barak found the harpoon, he just didn't have the flicker. If he had the flick available, that was GG right there. The whole match was over. But that one little kite, and then for some reason, Scoia'tael, they took their foot off the gas when they had all the momentum. They should have pushed down that choke into the whole team had no defensives, and they could have just run at them. But they actually went back and tried to cap. They let them get their cooldowns back. Reichler, wow, big aggro from him. Geyser to safety is needed, although Barak has to get sacrificed in that brawl as Doom return a lot of damage. Juliet hooked, gonna roll quickly back though. There's the swap. Nothing available. Should have the cleric though if needed. There's the flick. Cleric is popped onto Juliet, but Juliet trying to kite to the high ground, separated from the teammates, and Riker and Volz have 4 stacks and Doomed for like 4 stacks and the dark matter down bottom. Somehow they survive, but their healer's gone a completely different direction, and that is unfortunate. Reichler's gonna drop the heal. Like, Ains can't get back to the fight because he's got the whole Scoia'tael team between them. And that was,
20 to 27 before this thing goes,
This is going to be a wild finish. It's going to be 1 cap. It might be 2. That tackle's enough to secure the 2 cap.
Yeah.
So now Scoia'tael have the cap advantage, but they are down on points and they need to. But now it's going to go back to a 5v4 until their 5th member gets back to the fight. And now it's a 5v5. They're going to retreat to the choke. And Doom have about 2.5 minutes to play with here.
Yeah.
You go aggro. They pop the dark matter out. Lucifer's actually out of energy on that.
Nicely play early on onto Lucifer there. If they put the pressure on him.
Damage though. Look at that return damage. Volns nearly gets dropped. Aings is eating shards.
That's too much.
But Lucifer's completely out of energy. So if they can, if they'd have purged that perpetual.
Yep, that would have been it. And now Reichler's going to go down, and that's it. That's it. That's game.
Unless they can find a trade, it probably is game here, because they have no curse now. So they have no hot strip. They have no frontline pressure. Like, yeah, and they're just gonna get slowly bled out here. They're gonna try and hold for their guy to come back, but there's the 2-man tackle onto the frontliners. Juliet gonna get geysered, and they're just gonna split the damage here onto the second choke. Maybe look for the tackle onto Aings, or maybe Juliet as Juliet goes back in. Looking, yeah, he knows that he's going back in for the heals on Aings. There's the poison. Wow, they have actually stabilized here. They don't give up the 3 cap, and it's back to a. It's going to be back to a 5-5. And actually, Reichler's back capping, I believe. Okay, so there's a back cap going on. Tutuka versus Reichler, but that's going to be in Tutuka's favor because they're both playing curse. But Reichler needs the cap, and as long as he has 1 stack on, he can't cap. So they go full dive onto Maya instead. Maya's going to roll, but he has the cultist cowl on, so he couldn't seed himself. Aang's going full dive, but the dark matter means that they can't keep up that backline pressure. Nice try onto Maya, though. I like what they were doing. They identified it was their only opportunity. Barak trying to kill Reichler once again. I don't know how many times he's died this match. The answer is 4 already, but Barak is going to drop. There's the one they need, but they are down to 1 point, Shozen. They have to hold for 40 seconds, 4v5. Lucifer's already lowered. A nice tackle onto the back. Maya gets the cleric off, and it just needs to be kite. It needs to be defensive play. Tutuka needs to curse as many people as possible. He's going to go down. It's now 3 versus 5, but they can't pull out. There's only 20 seconds on the clock. All 3 kills would actually be a win, though. And there's one of them. Lucifer's going to be the other, and I think Doom have done enough. Unless... Oh, there's no way they interrupt both unless they back cap. Is there a back cap? One of the respawns, that would be a win. He's going for the southwest cap, and they only need 1 point. But there's 1, there's 2. They interrupted it. Doom interrupted it, and it's going to be a 1 point victory. Oh, the back cap, the 1 point south play was on the board. Holy moly!
Oh my god!
What a finish! What a finish!
Holy cow! Like, I thought it was over.
I thought the back cap was going to go through, but obviously whoever was capping mid had the sense to immediately go and check that because of the 1 point situation.
Absolutely amazing. But 1 point, 1 point match where the match was almost over from that 1 point being taken away from a cap.
You
and
cannot
it was halfway
get a
through the
match.
cap.
And like, honestly, the Doom guys nearly got it on kills anyway. They didn't even need to cap if they just full dived. But there you go. What a banger.
How do the people in chat feel about that one? Like,
exhilarated, I hope.
A 2-to-1 match.
Good stuff.
It's 2-to-1 half match. It's like,
oh, a little bit right there.
I think the team switch is dying.
We will bounce over to Discord.
Oh, I think we're back.
Oh no, we're okay.
All right, I hear Lewpac again. How am I?
Good.
We are all good.
Somebody must have stepped on the Discord there.
Just went a little bit roboty there for a moment. Ooh. Now we're alive and kicking.
All right, glad to know it wasn't just me. I get a little scared when that happens. So I'd rather it was me than Bogul.
Then we would all go.
Yeah, we'd all be bye-bye. All right. I do have another match ready. We do have to start it pretty quick because that was a very long match.
It was. It was
2-to-1, and usually when those happen, it goes a long time. So I've already put it into chat. You guys can go ahead and click on that.
16-minute match is always fun to cast.
Yeah.
And this one's 11. Yes, this will take us.
Well, this one, okay, this one isn't actually 11 minutes.
Oh, you just had the recording still
I was
going
watching
because,
the other one. The other one was wild. I was watching that and just slack-jawed and, what's going on?
All right, ready when you guys are?
Shozen, you ready?
Ready?
Playing at 3, 2, 1, now.
So we've already seen them in action. Elitan, Nabobo, Imagini, Freya, and Zlanista. They were looking good in their last match. Very evenly matched, but they were able to show us what they got pretty effectively. We'll see who they get matched up here. And it's Frost Glaive Curse. I would call that the standard right now. And they're up against Kikiwin and Trib. So this should be a good match, actually. These two didn't face off just yet. So we'll see. Nabobo misses his harpoon, though. Just as we talk about how well they did last time. Misses the harpoon live on Albion TV. Matter, though. Matter got punished. He was very aggressive with the curse there. Stepping up, getting a little bit cheeky, and rightly so. They shut him down and send him rolling back. There's the flick onto Tangerine. Tangerine's going to roll, but there's the knock up. Freezing Wind gets interrupted. And this is good control from Elitan. He could turn this into something. No follow-up, though. The backline is being forced back by Kikiwin and Boo Boo there. They weren't under major pressure. I don't know why they went so defensive there, because their backline pressure was immense. They really could have closed that fight out early on. They just seem to play a little bit scared of the tank. And once again, Matt are getting punished for stepping up once. Nabobo needs to be careful, though. Oh, he stacks. He stacks with a Magini. And the shard value.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Look at that choke. Oh.
Not a lot used in there. They got through that choke, okay?
They were lucky that tackle wasn't available, though. Because that would have been 9-9. And I think it's going to be Nabobo and Elitan dropping, I think. Oh, no, there's a seed. Elitan will probably be okay, but Nabobo's down. And it's going to be an early 2, possibly a 3. If they're quick, they can stop the 3, though. Not if they get geysered on the choke like that, though. And look at that timing. That's a nice 3-cap timing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good time in there. I'd take it with just a few seconds left to go. No time to interrupt. And there's 20 points for him.
One thing I'm surprised we haven't seen anyone try yet is the double curse, because it is actually surprisingly powerful, especially as you can run like a Shadow Caller and a Great Curse.
Right.
Which is a very powerful combo. If you meet the Holy matchup, you can even run a Shadow Caller and a Demonic Staff, which is surprisingly powerful as well. Oh, nice tackle there from Elitan, but he's already down to half HP. No curse stacks though. Matter, he is getting those backliners stacked up, but the problem is when you do that is the frontliners never have to leave, right? Because the shards alone aren't enough, and now Triblian is just getting run down. And finally Matter's like, okay, I'm going to put some curse stacks on this guy. Elitan, he's kind of just chilling. I'm not sure about this. He may have overstayed his welcome here. He's now 4 stacked, and he's probably gonna have to run through an area of decay on this choke. And he takes Dark Matter into the back line and the 4 stacks. Finally, the stacks drop. The Dark Matter nearly kills him. But I don't really know what he was doing there. He got a little bit cocky just standing there, but he got stacked up and he did nothing in that fight. It was a very, very strange play, I'd say, Shozen.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work out.
And Freya.
And Elite Ann going as well here. Just getting sucked up at the end.
Flick kill,
nothing left.
As well.
Yeah. Oh, nice little spear at the end.
I wish I wish a flick kill actually sent the body flying though. That would be kind of
just fun. Like just flicking it ragdoll, so it just like went through, like, cartwheeling through the air. I can do that
meme song. That just fly it through the air. You know the one I mean?
Yeah. At first I wasn't sure, but now I've got it. Yeah, I've got it in my head now. Thanks. It was actually pretty good, Lewpac, for
Imagini
being completely out of tune.
He's going for the cap, but Kiki actually is going to let him have it. Kiki was already at second. He was already at second choke. It wouldn't have been much for him to go up there and geyser, but whatever reason, he's decided to let him have it. Tangerine gets pulled in. Oh, just about rolls the harpoon. The harpoon gave him a little tickle. Fryer needs to get sacked. He is still poisoned on the choke, though. Tanj gets put in again. No mobility available. He's spamming shards while having the cultist cowl on. He nearly gets Freya, but he also nearly kills himself. Luckily, his team is able to convert that. He did about half HP to himself off that cultist cowl. Lannister, mortal agony.
Well, there goes Lannister.
Down.
There goes Nobo in just a moment, along with Imagini. Anybody gonna survive this? Oh, Imagini, great dive, and Tangent with the roll.
That was a nasty rolls in with the freezing wind. He wants more, mate. This guy
gets out. Yeah, nicely done.
This guy's mad. 3-minute timer though. 20 points.
That monkey roll to get the kill was brutal. You never want to see that.
You do want to see it.
Well, yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, you know,
diving
in on Frost.
We did. Wait,
who
was it that rolled in during RGVG? For a kill?
Oh, that was Bogul. That was
Bogul rolled in, didn't he? Yeah,
Bogul
rolled into the tent. Not into the tent, but into the tent area.
I can't remember such a thing. I don't
lost us the fight. You can't get a help these days, Shozen. You know what I'm saying?
No, you can't get help. Not available.
Oh, Kiki. Oh, last millisecond interrupt from Kiki. He doesn't give it for free this time. And this is the thing. Freya goes for it again. And you've got to know when you got to go for the cap once to force the action.
Mm-hmm.
But anything after that is just downtime. Like you can see Red is committed to the low ground now. You can take the fight now. Newbie not messing around this season then.
No, they're actually going for it.
Brave Vanguard matter though. He's gonna get dropped. Is there a trade on the board? Boo boo. Elitan stacking with the frost and taking a huge amount of damage. The seed's gonna pop, but it's not great. 4 versus 5. It is a 3 cap hold though. So if they hold for this 20, they're in a great spot. The Bobo gets flicked into a horrible spot, but he gets healed and then he counter flicks Boo Boo. That's some good pressure. They need to hold for like 7 more seconds for this 20. Kiki, imagine he's already going for it though. So they're only going to get a 10 at best unless Kiki suddenly decides to go charging down. Nah, he's not going to make it. No,
nobody's going down.
So they do save themselves from that dreaded sub 20. Because that's when it gets
when you
nasty.
Can't make a comeback. It's so hard. I shouldn't say you can't, as we just saw it. Yeah. But it's so rare.
Just because
so
of the kill
incredibly
trades.
hard
like,
to
there's
do.
So much kill trading. And they're talking of kill trading.
One.
There's one for Nabobo. And they are about to go down to 13 points. Maybe 3 points. If they're forced to tent here, they're going to drop to 3. But no, if they take another death, they lose here right now.
Yeah.
They need to get their boys out. But Elitan needs to make himself a presence. And actually, they're Magini doing a good job of trying to set up a counter kill with this damage on the back. Matter. Poisoned 4-stack and cultist still pumping through the cultist, but Magini, there's the mortal agony. That is the kill they were looking for. And if Matter pulls back and caps now, it's GG. Elitan knows this.
It'll be over.
Elitan's having a look for it, but he can't die for it either. Like they go into 9 to 142 is pretty insurmountable just because of the way these fights play out. Trib the healer though is caught with no cleric, just about gets his roll back. He's gonna survive now. And it's a 1-minute timer for the Doom team. Nice tackle. And the Bobo up top. Mortal Agony sticks. Down to 5. Lannister, the healer. He's in a spot now. Elitan doing his best to control this fight. Maybe they could grab a back cap and stay alive for a little bit more. But it just feels like the inevitable is closing in on them, Shozen. Lannister goes into his cleric, but he is 4-stack. Like they have got stacks for days. The freezing wind over the top. There is nobody backcapping right now. They're just trying to brute force this choke. And I think they know. They're going to go to 10 and they're not going to throw any more gear at this, which is fair. Nabobo doesn't OC as well, which is always very telling.
Yeah, it's always a pretty
clean though. Brave newbie. Wow. Clean win there, 142. And then we got like 3 minutes of Shozen. Shozen was basically so engrossed in the other match. He didn't
I did not come back over and end that one.
Yeah.
Oops.
The other match though, that was a banger for sure. Because it's early in the season, we might not have our level 6s here because there's not many teams with the tokens yet. They would have to be available. We have at least one team with a level 6 token.
They did just sign up. It's the Relicer team that you just watched with. Isan Haman.
Yeah. They were the ones that won, weren't they?
Mm-hmm. And I think that's all that we're gonna have, and so I don't think we're gonna have a match.
Well, in that case, you better get them raffles ready for the people.
I do have them ready. I'm always ready for the people, Lewpac.
Are you though? Are you always ready?
No. You got me there.
Who are Doom with now? The Snow Alliance. Who are they affiliated with? Because they're basically on their own for points right now. But I'm not sure. Like, no, apparently they're going for number 1 in season 14.
They're trying for first.
Are they trying for first this season or season 14?
This season.
I mean, they've already got one of their towers at level 7. They have their home base around it to defend the mages like ferociously. That's for sure. Yeah, okay. They could be a contender. I've heard a lot of people saying they're going for number 1 this season. Because it's a short season, it's not so burnout-y, but I think it'll be quite competitive then, hopefully.
I hope so. We saw the return of Shiro, and you know how competitive he can be over 6 weeks.
I mean, his wars usually last about 1 week, but sure.
Sometimes they last half a season.
2 weeks. So Envy, Shiro's got just his guild and Oathbreakers there.
Well, there's Phoenix is back. They could rejoin up with him anytime. There's options available. I think that, things could change.
Yeah.
I don't think it's 100% a given that this is they're not going to show up. We have other groups that have reformed. We already had the first guild fold.
Who folded?
Broke Boys.
What?
Broke Boys already folded.
No.
Yeah.
I knew they had a vote where they decided to have renters.
They're not doing rent.
Which was kind of ironic.
Yeah, that's not happening.
They've closed the guild already?
They're mostly merging. Yeah. Hold on. Bogul, pull it up. So he can look over at the screen and read it. Because it's just my word. I think he needs to see it from Momono.
Okay.
Is that in CGG, right?
I have to watch the advert. If
you scroll up, then you can see it in the Discord that we have.
Only the one team with the level 6s. But listen, if there was ever time to try and push high level GBGs,
now is the time.
It's now in 100% in the short season, because you got a good chance of getting to the high levels and pumping those towers. Definitely right now.
100%. There is an opportunity for you. You could do it.
It's there in front of you. Pop, by the way, hang on.
Okay, it just is going to take a moment. What is it for New World?
No, it's for
every
Alexa.
ad that I've seen.
For Alexa.
Okay,
right, show me this thing then, Bogul. What
ad I've seen has been for an Amazon product for the last 2 days. So, yeah, I've been subbing to everybody that I watch recently because I'm so tired of the ads. So this is working out really well for Albion streamers because they're getting a lot of my subs.
Oh, here we go. We had a meeting and it decided to close the guild. That is like a hype guild speed run.
Speed is the key to a hype guild.
Hype guild any % speed run.
3% of the season done.
African Eye Baby. Okay. We had some fun CTAs. I'm really sorry to anyone that is upset by this. When was this? Today?
Today. Yeah. And he's really, really sorry for anybody who was looking forward to the chance of finally being able to play with Momono, but for better or worse, finally
play with Momono.
Yeah.
Man, it is a goal. That is
there were a lot of BA guys, that they couldn't play together for whatever reason, him not being allowed in the guild, and
that is Like we're only 1 week into the season. Wow.
It's like 15% done.
I know, but seriously.
Like, it's not
Seriously.
terrible. Yeah, there are no level 6s
okay, so
today.
There's a rumor as well.
Uh-oh.
That I've just been fed.
A
And
rumor?
I'm like Varys. I'm like Varys in Game of Thrones before the writing went to shit, and he suddenly forgot how to be
How
sneaky.
to speak? How to
Yeah.
speak?
And
Yeah,
he got incinerate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But good Varys when he had his like network of spies. I've been told there was a robbery as well with Broke Boys. So that may or may not be true.
I've heard something along the same lines, but I wouldn't call it a robbery per se.
I will see. I will leave that one as a rumor.
If the people who run the guild leave with the materials, is it robbing the guild?
I mean, when they just had a big thing about how many donations everyone had to pay per week or whatever. I mean, this is the thing. This is why.
Was it $1 million per person per week?
But like, how are you going to ask people to start paying that when your guild hasn't been alive a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when it's a guild that's already folded before, and it is literally a generic hype guild. You know what I mean?
It's not generic.
It is. It's the same people with a new name as every time. This is the time. This is the one. This is the one that finally breaks Syndic.
No, Syndic broke already. He's cracked like the Liberty Bell, dude. The guy is he's having trouble right now.
He's on a mad one.
Started talking in circles, making shit up.
Yeah. I heard that he won't allow electronic devices in his house anymore, and he wraps himself in tin foil so that he can't be detected.
Thought he could play on an air-gapped computer. Found out that didn't work. Got all upset.
All right. Is there any more raffles for these people before we get out of it?
Yes, a raffle. We haven't pulled any yet, so I'm going to pull 3 in quick succession. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry, there's no level 6s today. I love it when Shozen
pulls 3 in quick succession.
So sorry about the situation with the level 6s. It is the way that it is. A lot of people aren't participating this season because they didn't know there was a CLC. So hopefully next week these guys will get the message and start playing.
Easiest white tiger of your life.
Yeah.
I mean, we should take we get the dream team.
Let's do it. Let's get the dream team back
together.
Let's get the dream
team into the series. Yeah. How would that work? We're casting it, but sure.
Well, it'd be really tough if we got it. You know what? Bogul, can you stream it if, like, say we take the community manager on? I heard she was main DPS.
Okay.
When she started, so we could have
from
a bow.
her trash laptop with 5 FPS.
No, she has a new.
That's the one thing
laptop.
I didn't get about the interview. How can you be main DPS with a trash laptop?
For PvE. Oh. Yeah. Now everybody just got really depressed. Any thoughts of her joining the team just completely out the window? PvE, you say?
Happens.
Okay. Well, I've heard enough. Thanks. All right. Let's see what else is doing.
Right, raffles.
Right, speaking of, Desperate Dinosaur has won the raffle. Tucson
won a mammoth raffle on my giveaway.
Oh, well, he doesn't need the money then. He's rich.
He's having a good old time. To be fair, I've been sidetracked. I haven't actually traded it to him yet, and he won a week ago.
Oh, so he doesn't have it.
It's not Skamaz, though. You will get it, I promise. But he's having a good week in terms of giveaways, that man.
Razat? I don't know. It's RHAZ4T. Razat? Whisper me to claim your prize, guys.
Congrats. And when will the Daily Show be back, or when will you guys be back? Tomorrow?
Tuesday.
All right.
Yeah, we're not going to be here on Sunday.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Again, sorry about the 6s. We will have them as soon as they are ready. And yes, I believe we were all scammed by the 5v5ers.
All right. Have a good one, boys. Thank you for watching AlbionTV, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.